Welcome to iLecture Online. Here's another video per viewer's request. It's actually very interesting and kind of a complicated problem. Let's see if we can figure it out. The problem goes as follows. An object is dropped from a height, let's call it h. What is the value of h? From how high is the object dropped? If the object drops 2/3 of that height during the final 1 second of its flight or its path. Okay. Let's try the graphical method to see what that looks like, but first let's draw a picture of what's happening here. So let's draw a building. A person drops an object. Let's say that the height from where the object is dropped is equal to h. And the object drops, and it covers the last 2/3 of the path h in 1 second. In 1 second. Okay, how do we figure that out? Well, let's graphically try to solve this problem using a velocity versus time graph. The reason why a velocity versus time graph is so nice because it really gives you a feel of what's happening in the problem. Again, we're going to use the downward directions of positive values, so it makes it easier to draw. We start from zero velocity and we reach a maximum velocity when we reach the bottom. Of course, we're going to draw that in a positive direction. So in this case, g will be a positive 9.8 meters per second squared. We don't know what the final velocity is when it reaches the ground. That's not a known quantity. We don't know the total time, but we do know that in the final time, the final 1 second of its flight path, of course time will be in seconds, we will have traveled 2/3 of the total height. So if I draw a line across this way, I now have 3 areas on my graph, A1, A2, and I should put a 1 there, A2 and A3, and I know that the sum of those 3 areas must be the total distance traveled, so I know that A1 plus A2 plus A3 is equal to h. It's the total distance traveled. I'm also told that A2 and A3, which is the distance traveled in the last 1 second, is 2/3 of the total distance. So we can say that A2 plus A3 is equal to 2/3 h, the total distance traveled. So therefore, we can write that A2 plus A3 is 2/3 the sum of those 3 areas, A1 plus A2 plus A3. So you can see that visually, using this type of graph, it's very easy to start with this type of problem. If we now multiply both sides by 3, we'll get 3A2 plus 3A3 is equal to 2A1 plus 2A2 plus 2A3. Then subtracting those two from the left side, I will end up with the following concept. So then 3A2 minus 2A2 would be A2 plus A3 is equal to what's left on that side, which is 2A1. So that's the relationship. The sum of those 2 areas must be twice the area of A1 if the distance traveled in the last second is 2/3 of the total distance. Now we need some relationships. I know that the slope is equal to g. Right, the slope, which is equal to the rise over the run. And let's label the height, that's the rise, let's label that y3. So we know that the rise over the run is going to be equal to y3 over, the run is 1 because it's 1 second, and that's equal to slope of 9.8. which means that y3 is equal to 9.8, which means we can get the value for A3. We know that A3 is equal to 1/2 the base times the height. So A3 is equal to 1/2 the base, which is equal to 1, and the height, which is y3, which is equal to 9.8. That means that A3 is equal to half of that, or 4.9. So A3 is 4.9 meters. Okay. Now let's see what else we can do. Let's give this the time t. We don't know what time is equal to. We got a visitor. All right. So now let's go back to this equation and notice that, well, we'll call this y. The height is equal to y. All right, so a1 will be half the base times the height, so that's this one right here. a2 will be equal to the height times the width. So a2 will be 1 for the height times the width, which will be y, plus a3, we know what a3 is equal to, which is equal to 4.9. 4.9 is equal to 2 times a1. Now a1 will be half the base times the height, so it would be 1/2 the base, which is t, times the height, which is y. So notice now we have an equation here that has two variables, y, this height, which we don't know yet, and t, which is this time that we don't know yet. But then using a1, there's a relationship between those. So let's go over here. We can say that a1 is equal to 1/2 the base times the height. And of course, a1 base times height. Oh, also, of course, we know that the slope here, the slope is also equal to 9.8. So we can say that the slope, which is equal to the rise over the run, which is equal to the rise, that would be equal to y, and the run will be equal to t, and since that's equal to the slope, that must be equal to 9.8. So now we have a relationship between y and t. So I can then interchange those. I can say that t is equal to y divided by 9.8, and replace t in the equation over here. So I can eliminate t and only have a y in there. So this means that y plus 4.9 is equal to 2 times 1/2, that's 1. T is going to be y divided by 9.8, y divided by 9.8, and multiply that times y. Multiplying everything by 9.8, I get the following. I get 9.8y plus 4.9 multiplied times 9.8 is equal to y squared. Or y squared minus 9.8y plus, not plus but minus, because I have to move it across. So minus 4.9 times 9.8 is equal to 0. That's a decimal point there. There we go. Now we have a quadratic formula or a quadratic equation that I can solve with a quadratic formula. Essentially, I need to know what y is equal to, then I'll know what t is equal to, and then I'll know the values for a1, a2, and a3, and I can figure out the total height by summing them all up. That's the idea here. So first we need to find the value for y. So y is equal to minus b, which is 9.8, plus or minus the square root of 9.8 minus 4 times a, which is 1, times c, which is a minus 4.9, so the minuses will cancel out. 4.9 times 9.8, all divided by 2a, which is equal to 2. So now y is equal to, the negative is probably not going to be part of it because that number will be bigger than that value right there. So 4, I made a mistake here. This, of course, should be squared. It's b squared there. Okay, so we have 4 times 4.9 times 9.8, and add that to 9.8 squared equals 288. Take the square root. So end up with 9.8 plus, because the negative will not matter, that's a negative number, we get 16.974, all divided by 2, which is equal to, so plus 9.8 divided by 2 equals, I get 13.387. So now that I have the value for y, I can figure out the value for t. T is equal to y, which is 13.387 divided by 9.8. So t is equal to 1.366. So now we have a value for t, we have a value for y, and now I'm able to solve for A2 and A1. A3 I already know, so let's go for A2. I know that A2 is equal to y, and y is equal to 13.387. So what this implies is that until I reach the final second, the object will have traveled 13.387 meters. Now I need to find the value for A2. Not for A2, for A1. So A1 is equal to 1/2 the base times the height, 1/2 the base times the height, so 1/2 the base, which is t, times the height, which is y. So that would be equal to 1/2 times t, which is 1.366, times the height, which is y, which is 13.387. So multiply that times 1.366, divide by 2, and I get a value of 9.143. 9.143. And finally, so this is equal to A1. Let's see. So A1 is equal to 9.143. A2 is equal to 13.387. A3 is equal to 4.9. Now the total height is simply the sum of the three. So H is equal to A1 plus A2 plus A3, which is equal to 9.143 plus A2, 13.387, plus A3, 4.9. And so the total height, which is what we're ultimately looking for, so we have 9.143 plus 13.387 plus 4.9 equals 27.43 meters. And that is the height from which the object was dropped in order to travel 2/3 of the total distance in the last 1 second of its path. So multiply that times 2/3, so times 2 divided by 3 equals, so in the last 1 second, A2 plus A3 combined, A2 plus A3, which is 2/3 the height, which is 2/3 that value, so it drops a total of 18.29 meters in the last 2/3 of its path. Yes, it is quite complicated. It's an interesting problem. It's not easy to set up, but with the graphical method, we're able to get that solution in this particular fashion. We should also be able to get that using the equation of kinematics. Let me give it a try, but at least that is an interesting way to get the result. And that is how it's done. Did I put you to sleep? Well, it is quite interesting.
Will you do it kinematics?
Yeah, I'll try that.